Sports, it's a simple word, right? But man, it's so much more. Think about it. You can go anywhere in the world. You might not speak the language. You might not know the customs. But if there's a ball or a race or a competition, people get it. It's like this secret code everyone understands. A perfectly kicked soccer ball arcing into the net. That's beautiful in Brazil, in Germany, in Japan. A last-second buzzer beater in basketball. The roar sounds the same in Boston as it does in Beijing. It's this shared thing, this primal thing. We love to see people push themselves. We love the drama. The appeal is just massive. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter where you come from. Sports can grab you. Little kids play for fun in the park. Professionals play for millions in giant stadiums. And millions more watch glued to their seats, living and dying with every play. Why? Because it's real. It's unscripted. You never know what's going to happen next. That's the magic. It's a story unfolding right before our eyes. A story with heroes, villains, sometimes the refs, let's be honest, and moments you talk about for years. Think about the Olympics. Every few years the whole world stops to watch. Athletes from tiny islands compete against powerhouses. You see raw emotion, you see years of hard work pay off in a single moment, or sometimes you see heartbreak. But even then there's respect, there's an understanding of the effort. It's a global festival of human potential. And it all comes down to playing games. Simple games, really, when you break them down. But they mean so much to so many. It's a powerful connection. It's not just about watching either. It's about playing. It's about belonging. Being part of a team, even a terrible local league team, feels good. It's about challenging yourself. Can I run a little faster? Can I hit the ball a little harder? Can I make that shot? That drive to compete, to improve, it's built into us. Sports just gives it an outlet, a fun outlet. A healthy outlet most of the time anyway, unless your team loses a championship on a bad call, then it's not so fun, but you still come back for more. So you want to get into sports, great call, but where do you start? There are so many options. It's like a giant buffet of competition. The first big choice, team or individual, both have their own kind of cool. Team sports are all about working together. Think about soccer. 11 players on the field, all needing to be in sync. One bad pass, one missed tackle, and the whole thing can fall apart. But when it clicks, when a team moves like a well-oiled machine, it's poetry. Like the Golden State Warriors moving the ball or a great hockey team on a power play. Then you've got the individual sports. This is where it's all on you. Tennis is a classic example. You're out there on an island, no teammates to bail you out, no coach to call a timeout. Well, not really in the same way. It's you versus your opponent. A battle of skill, sure, but also a battle of wills. Who wants it more? Who can handle the pressure? Golf is another one. Just you, the ball, and miles of perfectly manicured grass designed to make you miserable. But sinking that long putt for birdie? That's pure personal triumph. No sharing that glory. Team sports teach you a lot about cooperation. You learn to trust other people. You learn to communicate. You learn that sometimes you have to sacrifice your own stats for the good of the team, like setting a screen in basketball so your teammate can get an open shot. That doesn't show up in the box score, but it's huge. It's about achieving something bigger than yourself. And the celebrations are epic. Winning a championship with your buddies? That's a bond for life. You'll be telling those stories when you're old and grey. Individual sports, though, build a different kind of mental toughness. You have to be incredibly self-motivated. You have to be your own biggest cheerleader and your own harshest critic. Think about a marathon runner. Hours and hours of solitary training, pushing through pain when every part of your body is screaming to stop. That's a different kind of grit. Or a gymnast performing a complex routine with the world watching. The pressure is immense. But the reward, knowing you did it all yourself, that's a powerful feeling. So, team or solo, no wrong answer. Just different paths to that awesome feeling of competition. Now let's talk about a different breed of athlete. The ones who look at a regular sport and think, nah, not dangerous enough. Welcome to extreme sports. These are the activities that make your palms sweat just watching them. We're talking surfing massive waves the size of buildings. We're talking snowboarding down near vertical mountains, skateboarding, BMX, base jumping. The list goes on. These aren't your granddad's pastimes, unless your granddad was Evel Knievel. then maybe. What drives these athletes? It's not just about winning a medal, though. That's part of it for some. It's about pushing limits, their own limits, the limits of what's humanly possible. They see a challenge, a scary, potentially life-threatening challenge, and they want to conquer it. There's a certain freedom in it, they say. A feeling of being completely alive when you're that close to the edge. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. You need incredible skill, sure, but you also need nerves of steel and an almost insane level of focus. Take surfing, for example. Paddling out into monster surf, like at Jaws in Maui or Nazar in Portugal. These waves can be 50, 80, even 100 feet high. One mistake, and you're done. It's you against the raw power of the ocean, yet surfers do it. They train for it. They live for those few seconds of riding a liquid mountain. It's beautiful and terrifying all at once. Same with big mountain skiing or snowboarding. One wrong turn and you could trigger an avalanche or go off a cliff. The risk is part of the appeal. These sports often have a strong counterculture vibe. They started out as rebellious activities outside the mainstream. Skateboarders in empty swimming pools, surfers chasing waves away from crowded beaches, but now they're huge. The X Games are a global phenomenon. Athletes like Tony Hawk skateboarding or Shaun White snowboarding became household names. They brought their sports to the masses, and while it's more organized now, that core spirit of adventure, of pushing boundaries, is still there. It's a reminder that sports can be about more than just points on a scoreboard. It can be about pure, unadulterated thrill. Sports aren't some new invention. They've been around forever. Seriously, like since ancient times. The Greeks had the Olympics starting way back in 776 BC. Think about that. People were competing in running, wrestling, and chariot racing thousands of years ago. It was a huge deal. Wars would even stop for the games. That shows you the power of sports, even back then. These weren't just games, they were religious festivals, tests of strength, and a way to honor the gods. The winners became heroes, just like today. Then you look at other cultures. The Romans had their gladiatorial contests. Okay, maybe a bit too extreme, even for today's standards. But it was a spectacle. It drew massive crowds. In Mesoamerica, they played a ball game called Olamalistli. The stakes were incredibly high. Sometimes the losing team, or even the captain of the winning team, was sacrificed. Yikes. Glad we mostly moved past that part, but it shows how deeply ingrained competitive games are in human history. Different cultures, different games, same basic idea. Let's compete. Over the centuries, sports evolved. Folk games in villages slowly became more organized. Rules started to get written down. Think about soccer. It started as a chaotic mob game in medieval England. Entire villages kicking a pig's bladder across the countryside. Not exactly the Premier League we see today, but gradually rules were standardized, fields were marked, teams were formed. The same happened with cricket, with rugby, with countless other sports. It was a slow process, driven by people who loved to play and wanted a fair contest. And then came the modern era. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were huge for sports. The revival of the Olympic Games in 1896, the formation of professional leagues, the rise of mass media newspapers, then radio, then TV. Suddenly sports weren't just local, they were national, even international. Heroes were made, stars were born. The games stayed similar in spirit to their ancient roots, but the scale, the business, the passion, that all went to a whole new level, and it's still evolving. Just look at esports now. Who saw that coming 100 years ago? Okay, let's talk about the obvious stuff first. Playing sports is good for your body. Shocker, right? But it's true. When you're out there running, jumping, swimming, whatever it is, you're working your muscles, you're getting your heart rate up. This is all incredibly important for staying healthy. Think of your body like a car. If you just let it sit in the garage, it's going to rust, it's going to fall apart. You need to take it out for a spin. Sports are a fun way to do that. Regular physical activity from sports helps build strong bones and muscles. This is super important, especially when you're young and growing. But it's also key as you get older to prevent things like osteoporosis. And your heart, it's a muscle too. Sports give it a good workout. This helps keep your blood pressure in check. It reduces your risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. These are serious health problems, and sports can be a powerful weapon against them. Plus, it helps you maintain a healthy weight. It's not just about the big intense sports either. Even things like walking, cycling, or a casual game of frisbee in the park count. The key is consistency, moving your body regularly. Finding an activity you actually enjoy makes it way easier to stick with it. If you hate running, don't force yourself to run marathons. Maybe swimming is your thing, or dancing, or even just taking the stairs instead of the elevator. It all adds up. Every little bit of movement helps. Your body will thank you for it, trust me. And let's not forget about things like coordination, balance, and flexibility. Sports help develop all of these. Think about a basketball player dribbling down the court, weaving through defenders. That's incredible coordination. Or a gymnast on a balance beam. Or a surfer carving up a wave. These skills are not just useful in sports. They help in everyday life too. They can prevent falls and injuries. So, getting active through sports isn't just about looking good or winning games. It's about investing in your long-term health and well-being. It's a pretty good deal. Section 6, the brain game, mental wins from sports. We've talked about the body. But sports do amazing things for your brain too. It's not just about muscles and lungs, it's about what's happening upstairs. When you play sports, especially team sports, you learn things like discipline. You have to show up for practice. You have to listen to your coach. You have to put in the work even when you don't feel like it. That kind of discipline carries over into everything else. School, work, life. It's a superpower really. Then there's resilience. Sports teach you how to lose, and that's a good thing. Nobody wins all the time. Not even Michael Jordan. You're going to get knocked down and you're going to make mistakes. You're going to face setbacks. Sports teach you to get back up, to learn from your failures, to try again. That ability to bounce back, to not give up when things get tough is crucial. Life throws curveballs. Sports help you learn how to hit them, or at least how to handle getting struck out sometimes. Sports also help with stress relief. Got a tough day at work or school? Go shoot some hoops, go for a run, hit a punching bag. Physical activity is a fantastic way to blow off steam. It releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals in your brain. It can clear your head and help you see things more clearly. It's like a mental reset button. In a world that's constantly buzzing and demanding your attention, sports can be a great escape, a way to focus on something else for a while and recharge your batteries. And don't forget focus and concentration. To play well, you need to be locked in. Whether it's tracking a fly ball in baseball, reading a green in golf, or anticipating your opponent's next move in tennis, you have to shut out distractions. You have to be present in the moment. This ability to concentrate is a skill that's incredibly valuable in all areas of life. So yes, sports build your body, but they also build a stronger, sharper, more resilient mind. That's a win-win. Section 7. Game Changers, Athletes Who Rewrote the Rules, Part 1. Some athletes are just different. They don't just play the game, they change it. They come along and make you rethink what's possible. Michael Jordan is the obvious one for basketball. Before MJ, there were great players, sure, but he took it to another level. The athleticism, the skill, the competitive fire, the clutch performances. He wasn't just a basketball player, he was a global icon. He made the NBA a worldwide phenomenon. Every kid wanted to be like Mike. His impact is still felt today. Then you think about someone like Babe Ruth in baseball. He basically invented the home run as we know it. Before him, baseball was a different game, more about strategy, stolen bases, small ball. The Babe came along with that big swing and started hitting balls a mile. He captivated the nation. He saved baseball after the Black Sox scandal. He was larger than life. His stats were ridiculous, even by today's standards. He changed the way the game was played and perceived. A true legend. In soccer, Pelé was that guy. 3 World Cup wins, over 1,000 career goals. Okay, some were in friendly matches, but still, he was a magician with the ball. He made soccer beautiful. He brought joy to millions. He was Brazil's national treasure. He played with a flair and a skill that nobody had ever seen before. He put soccer on the map in countries where it wasn't popular, like the USA when he played for the New York Cosmos. He was the first global soccer superstar. And what about tennis? Billie Jean King. Not just for her incredible talent on the court, winning 39 Grand Slam titles, but for what she did off the court. The Battle of the Sexes match against Bobby Riggs. That was huge. It wasn't just a tennis match, it was a statement about equality. She fought for equal prize money for women. She was a pioneer. She used her platform to push for social change. That's more than just being a great athlete. That's being a game changer in the truest sense of the word. These athletes didn't just win, they inspired. Section 8, More Than Medals, Iconic Figures Who Inspired, Part 2. Let's keep rolling with these legends, because there are so many. Think about Muhammad Ali in boxing, the greatest. And he wasn't just talking about his skills in the ring, which were incredible, the speed, the power, the charisma. He floated like a butterfly, stung like a bee. But his impact outside the ring was just as massive. His stance against the Vietnam War, his fight for civil rights. He was a controversial figure at the time, no doubt, but he stood by his principles. He was a voice for the voiceless. Then you have someone like Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball. Can you imagine the pressure, the hatred he faced, the courage it took to step onto that field every day? He didn't just play baseball, he changed America. He opened doors for so many others. His number 42 is retired across all of MLB. That's how significant his contribution was. He handled it all with dignity and incredible skill, a true hero on and off the field. His story is a powerful reminder of what sports can represent. Let's jump to the ice. Wayne Gretzky, the great one. His hockey records are just insane. They look like typos. Most goals, most assists, most points. It's not even close. He saw the game differently. He played it differently. He made everyone around him better. He was so dominant, they changed the rules because of him. He brought a level of artistry and intelligence to a tough sport. He made hockey popular in places it had never been popular before, like Los Angeles. An absolute legend. And we can't forget the women who dominated and inspired. Someone like Serena Williams in tennis. Just pure power and determination. So many Grand Slam titles. She faced adversity, she faced criticism, and she just kept winning. She, along with her sister Venus, changed the women's game. They brought a new level of athleticism and power. They inspired a generation of young girls, especially girls of color, to pick up a racket. These athletes aren't just names in a record book. They are symbols of excellence, perseverance, and sometimes profound change. Their stories go beyond sports. Section 9, the big finish, how sports make a real difference. So, what's the bottom line here? Sports are fun, they're exciting, they give us heroes and great stories. But it's more than that. Sports have this incredible power to transform, to change individuals, to change communities. Think about a kid who's struggling, maybe a little lost. Sports can give that kid an outlet, a place to belong, a mentor in a coach, a chance to learn discipline, teamwork, and self-worth. That can change the entire trajectory of a young person's life. It happens all the time. Sports can bring people together like nothing else. Think about your city's team winning a championship. The whole town goes nuts, strangers hugging in the streets, everyone sharing that same joy. It doesn't matter what your background is, what you do for a living, or who you voted for. For that moment, you're all connected by that shared passion. Sports can heal divides. They can create common ground. In a world that often feels pretty fractured, that's a powerful thing. It provides a shared language and shared experiences. And on a bigger scale, sports can drive social change. We talked about Jackie Robinson and Billie Jean King. Athletes have a platform. When they speak out, people listen. Sports have been at the forefront of movements for racial equality, for gender equality, for human rights. Think about Nelson Mandela using the Rugby World Cup to unite a post-apartheid South Africa. That's the power of sport. It can be a catalyst for good. It can inspire hope and change in ways that politics sometimes can't. It can transcend boundaries. So whether you're playing pick-up basketball in the park, surfing a giant wave, or cheering for your favorite team from the couch, remember what sports are really about. They're about pushing limits. They're about connecting with others. They're about the thrill of competition and the joy of play. They teach us about ourselves and about each other. From the ancient Olympics to the modern X Games, from soccer fields in small villages to massive global tournaments, sports matter. They reflect who we are, and sometimes they help us become something better. That's a pretty ultimate guide, right?